Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Well, it is December, and in December, I like to do, roundups and countdowns, talk about our favorite beauty from the year or quite a few years. And today we're going to focus on one of my favorite independent brands, Viseart. I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite Viseart eyeshadow palettes. They might be your 5 favorites too, as these are actually mentioned in comments and swatch requests quite a bit, these particular 5 palettes. But I would love for you to weigh in on yours as well, as we are a community. So it is absolutely lovely to have you here with me today. Don't forget that you can also follow me over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. But we have a lot to get to today. Now, when we speak about roundups and countdowns and all those kind of things, I do have to remind you that we currently have a questionnaire out there to the wider Not Fit for Print Beauty community about the favorite 2023 beauty products that you guys have enjoyed, used, and sometimes disliked, to be honest. Those questions are out there. I will link that questionnaire below. I'm accepting answers all the way through December 20th, midnight, my time out here in the Pacific, California. So if you haven't gotten to it yet, I know a lot of you were taking some time to think about it. Make sure that you get those into me before the deadline so that they can be counted. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will review the answers with you guys, of course, here on YouTube in late December. And we do already, it looks like we have some winners emerging. There's some that are so far out front. Very interesting, especially when compared with previous year's Community Beauty Awards. We'll do a little bit of comparison. The industry and our buying habits are definitely changing. So make sure that you weigh in so that your vote is in there and counts as well. Okay, the job at hand is our Viseart eyeshadow palettes. Now, Viseart, an amazing brand. If you haven't tried them, especially if you love eyeshadow, you owe it to yourself to do so. And they make more than just eyeshadow palettes. They make lip gloss, which I'm wearing now, and I love blush, which I'm wearing, and highlight. They make a lot of great products, but we're going to focus on the favorites from Viseart, which are their eyeshadow palettes. And I'm going to show you my 5 favorite in 3 different sizes. Now, Viseart palettes are interchangeable as long as it's with the same size palette. Magnetic, they're made for the taste and the use of makeup artists, but are loved by those of us who like to use the products at home as well. And I have made sure to choose palettes that are currently available, and I will link them below, along with all that information on our 2023 Community Beauty Awards. Maybe you want to vote for Viseart, and along with information on Super Thanks, which I always appreciate, and information on joining our $4.99 a month subscription here on YouTube, where we have weekly lives. And I am indeed planning to put together a little example of some of our lives for you guys for free on the channel, so you can kind of see what we do over there. But all the information to get it is down below. All right, these are in no particular order. I tried to do warm, cool, colorful, and I admit, while I had a few that were obvious, this was a harder job than I thought. If I could have done my top 20, it would have been easier. Viseart has a lot of gorgeous eyeshadows out there. So let's just dive in no particular order. And I do have swatches outside in the warm California sunshine. My first favorite, I bet you guys are going to agree, is an Etendu. I have a lot of the Etendu palettes, and the Etendu palettes by Viseart are where they take some of their classics and expand on them or bring things back to look at again in a really nice format. Easy to use, easy to transport, easy to travel. And the first one I'm going to look at is the Cashmerie Etendu. When not on sale, there's a lot of various sales right now. When not on sale, the Cashmerie Etendu is $44. There's also the Cashmere Charmeuse Etendu out there, but this one is really my favorite, the original Cashmere Etendu, taken from the Cashmere Theory palette. And I would love, if you guys are long-time Viseart fans, weigh in down below how many of the originals that you have in your collection if you have the Cashmere Theory. But here's the Cashmere. It's full of warm and cool tones, can be used wet or dry. There's metallics in there, mattes and duochromes. This is a beautiful palette because it has the warm and the cool in it, kind of coexisting and living together peacefully. Just a beautiful, beautiful palette. Let's take a look at it outside in the warm California sunshine. I think you will be impressed. This Cashmere palette is definitely one of your favorites. It comes up, pretty much the most in terms of comparisons and swatch comparisons that you want to see, which, by the way, I'm super happy to still do any swatch comparisons that you need with Viseart. These make great gifts. They really have this beautiful packaging. Not only the art on the outside, Viseart is really an artist brand, but also the fact that they can be made into an easel, so they stand up. It is nice and easy and slim to store, but travels really protected. And these are magnetized so they can be shared with other Etendus and other palettes that Viseart makes with pans of the same size. I have 3 Etendu palettes in the 5 here. Let's do the second one. This one really, if I were to do a number 1 favorite, this would be my number 1. You guys know I love it. I talk about it all the time. This is the Viseart Violette Etendu, or Violet in English, Violette Etendu. There's also Violette Vespertine. There's a Petites in Violetta. So they do a lot with purples. And I always say to you guys that nobody does, and I mean this, nobody does a purple or lavender shade like Viseart. I have also told you countless times that I never liked myself in purpley shades. I'm supposed to, because I have green eyes and green is perfect with purple. I never liked it before. I tried the Lila from Natasha Denona and some other purples, probably from like Norvina or something, and I just was never impressed. Then I tried this Violette and everything changed. This is such an absolutely gorgeous palette. It's got cult favorites from the Liaison palette from Viseart. Note down below if you have that. These are plums and fuchsias and pinks. And it is just the most beautiful way to do purple and made me a fan of purple single-handedly. I thank Viseart for that. This really probably is my absolute favorite Viseart palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. $44 also, again, when not on sale. My third of 5 is a Petites Shimmers palette. This is the Petite Shimmers Koi. This is gorgeous. So this is $40 when not on sale. There's a lot of sales going on now. But this kind of looks like the Koyish Etendu. There's an Etendu called Koyish, more recent. And it looks a little bit like the Soleil La Plage. But this has duochromes and sparkles. It's all duochromes and sparkles. And you could trade the Petite Shimmers out with the Edit collection. I have an Edit palette coming up, but they are the same pan size. Other than that, the packaging is very similar, though it's a bit smaller than the Etendu, so you can't share pans. This magnetizes with other Petites and with the Edit collection. So we all know the very famous Viseart Koi. Again, note below if you have it. Depends how long you've been collecting Viseart. There's something about this Petites palette that is so easy to use, so quick, and so almost neutral. Now that sounds like a put down of a colorful palette. I don't wear colorful palettes. I like boring, neutral eyeshadows. And yet I can pull this off like nobody's business if I do say so myself. The colors can be applied, anywhere from an electrifying, usage if you wet them or just keep piling them on because they build beautifully. Or they can be super sophisticated and subtle. You could even pair this with other palettes, but I like to use this just on its own. And to me, it is such a graceful, gorgeous, subtle way, the way I use it, to work in a bright color. And this is the only brightly colored palette that I love. So Viseart makes the purple palette that I am the most devoted to and the color palette that I am most devoted to. It is true that there are so many great neutral, warm, and cool tone palettes out there, but Viseart owns it, I think, for purple and for colorful. This is great for those of you who are afraid of color, and it's great for those of you who love bright colors. This is an absolutely gorgeous palette. So that is on my list. 2 more to go. I wanted to choose a warm palette. Now, I love neutrals. I don't always love really warm palettes. When they start to go really brick red, or really, really warm ochre browns, I'm not as interested. But this is a gorgeous one. It's another Etendu, my third and final Etendu on my list of 5. And this is the Minxette Etendu, $44 when not on sale. It depends where you look if you can find this on sale. I'll have it linked below. This is a gorgeous, almost like leopard print on the outside. This comes from the Theory Minx palette. Please note below if you have the Minx. Pretty much all warm shadows, but it's warm done right. It really is warm done right. Let's take it outside into the warm California sunshine, as I have been doing for you. This is so beautiful that you need to see it in natural lighting. It's absolutely a gorgeous warm palette, and my favorite because it is definitely really nice and chocolatey warm without being overkill. My last one is the palette that I'm wearing right now, but I would love for you to take a moment and see if you are subscribed to this channel. I am looking to get 20,000 soon, at which point we're going to do an Ask Me Anything Q&A, but I need your help to get there. So do make sure that if you subscribe, that you're still subscribed, and if you haven't, please click that subscribe button and help me out. All right, my last of my final 5 is the one that I am wearing right now. This is an Edit palette. It is the Paris Edit, which comes from the Paris Nudes collection. Here it is. It's just a pretty little small pink palette. These are interchangeable with the Petites, the pan size, but we again have 12 shades. Look at these. Beautiful. I got to get my pinks in there because I love the pinks and the silvers. I'm wearing it on my eyes right now, and it is such a pretty palette, and I think so useful and so complimentary whether you like cool or warm. It almost just comes off as a complete neutral, and I just love it. Let's take it outside and take a look at it here in the warm California sunshine. Just so you can see it, I really think that those natural lights really do the best. And now you're going to see me putting it on, probably sped up, but I am wearing it today, and I use so many of the shades in it so effortlessly, even high speed here. I just wanted to show you that I am indeed wearing it for this video. I don't have a favorite. All 5 of these are my favorites, which is about as easy as choosing one. Choosing 5 from Viseart is like choosing one from any other brand. They are so prolific and so intent on serving their community. Viseart has a really warm relationship with the artists who rely on them and with those of us who use them at home. And Anastasia Sparrow is really responsive and interested in what we have to say. They are just so dedicated and devoted, and they work so hard with a very small bare bones team. So they are an amazing brand. If you haven't tried Viseart, you absolutely owe it to yourself to try it. Those are my 5 favorites, and now I put it to you. What is your 5 favorites? Or if you want to tell me 10 or just 1, where do you agree with me? Where do you disagree? And last but not least question, because we are a community here, do you have any of the discontinued or canceled Viseart palettes? I know I do. These are still my favorite. No, I did try to choose palettes that you could still get your hands on. Let me know a little bit about your Viseart experience if you haven't tried them and have meant to. All this chatter just makes us a community, so I would love to know. Don't forget to share this video, like it, of course, subscribe. I look forward to more fun in December with you. Many more videos coming up. Don't forget to do our community-wide Best of Beauty survey. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.